Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Well, Mom and I did a quick Tuesday shopping. We're home, and I've been soaking bark. Here's my bark. I had it in a bucket outside, and I've been soaking bark for 3 days now, which I'm doing because I'm trying not to get more orchids because I don't have a lot of room. And I don't want it to become more work than fun. I'm trying. So anyway, I got a new orchid. But it's for the one that got damaged. If you remember, during the elevator being put in, the one that was in this pot mysteriously got knocked over, has a big hole in its leaf, got root damage. I put it in one of my first pots I had for orchids when I couldn't find pots and didn't really know what I was looking for. And if you paint with latex paint in the gallon, quite often those are plastic containers for the latex paint. And washed up, they're black. You take the handle off, Jack drilled holes in, and those are my first pots, and the roots I got in those pots were like enormous. So plastic does seem to be pretty good for holding that extra humidity if you're in a dry area. And also the glazed orchid pots are good for holding humidity. But anyway, yes, I got a new orchid, and what I'm going to be concentrating on is improving let's see, maybe I should word that different, so that we get less likelihood of shock on that transplant from the moss to the bark. And remember, in numerous articles I have read, the roots take a shock anytime you change the media. So if you get an orchid and put it in bark, then you say, no, I'm going to put it in something else, and then you're going to put it in, that's like triple shock. So yes, they will take a shock any change of media, whether you're going moss to bark, bark to moss, to pellets, whatever you're doing that is different than what those roots have been in. And they will grow new roots that will acclimatize. Some of the roots may be okay. A lot of the center ones, they're the problem ones. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. But anyway, thanks for visiting me all the time and sending your comments. We're having some fun. And so the major thing is we are going to try and get bigger, healthier plants, more leaves, more flowers, everything. That's what I'm doing research on continually. And hopefully I'm learning, you're learning, and we're all sharing this. So anyway, I came home with this new orchid. It was in this pot. Then, and it's in moss. We can't get orchids in bark here. So it was in this pot. This pot was wrapped in a big plastic cellophane, top to bottom. No water could get out anywhere because it's in plastic. Then it's in a plastic pot with only holes on the bottom. And then it was in this. How long? We don't know. So as soon as I got home, I had this pot, which was one I got an orchid in quite a long time ago, and Jack had drilled holes in, and I haven't used it yet, but I took the outside layer of moss off the plant as soon as I got home, knowing it would be 3 days before I potted it because I'm soaking my bark longer. And it's called drop potting. So this was the outer layer of moss, and it was just like when they potted it up for sale. They had left everything the same inside and just wrapped this moss around the outside. So, and one of the experiments I'm doing, so it was soaking in water, and I wanted to add a root hormone now to the water because one little bud is dropping, couple of the flowers look limp already. So, and there, I saw dead roots on the surface and I haven't looked in there yet. So, I've added a little bit, and I don't have Super Thrive. Now, I saw some in Beckerfields and it was like outrageously priced and I was too cheap. But this is just a normal bottle of stem root. And it's 0.8% IBA rooting powder. So I put a couple, probably a quarter of a teaspoon in soaking water when I soaked it, because if you soak it before you repot it, it will help to get the moss out and less damage to the roots. And I thought, oh, I'm going to try putting this in when I'm soaking it before I repot it. Now, as you know, I really like the St. Augustine Orchid Society, and Sue Bottom is her name. She writes a lot of articles in here, and if you wanted to look this up, it's called Orchid Supplement or Snake Oil by Sue Bottom. And I'll just show you. You probably have to type in St. Augustine Orchid Society first. It's a very good article. I recommend you go on and read it. But also seaweed extract, I do not have any. I may also try that. It says using seaweed immediately after repotting is a good practice to encourage new root growth. So it's 1 ounce in a gallon, and she says here, I use seaweed monthly in the spring and summer at a rate of 1 teaspoon a gallon as a supplement rather than replacement of my normal routine. So once a month she uses this, and you could have it mixed in a gallon jug, shake it up and just use it when you're ready. So she uses that once a month. Now, something else I read here about Epsom salts was, do not mix calcium supplements if you're feeding extra calcium with Epsom salts, because a reaction will occur between them that will precipitate out in the mixed tank. I use Epsom salts monthly at a half a teaspoon a gallon during freshwater flush or in conjunction with the 2010-20 fertilizer. Very good articles. She's talking about a few of the different things that you might be using. And one funny thing was vodka. One for your plant, one for you. Yes, apparently they're finding out vodka's good for your orchids. And Jack goes, well, you're not using my vodka. So I don't think I will be, but anyway, look this up. Have a read. And I'll pin it underneath the video to help you out with that. So let's clean this up. And there's my soaking water. I'm just going to dump that. Okay. Well, it's good and soaked. Let me see. How am I going to do this? Okay. I'm always into trouble. I'm always into trouble. There's always a way. There's always a method in my madness. I'll have a kitchen accident here. Call 911. Okay, so I'm just gonna, oh, this is not working. You know, I'm hopeless. Sometimes this will work. Maybe I need to back it up. Hold on. Okay, that'll work. Now we got something happening. There, sometimes we just need to adjust things. Who knows what it's done. Okay, so as you see, the outside roots have come nice and green. Now, I noticed dead ones on the surface, and you have to poke at this very, very carefully. So I know some of you have seen this over and over again, but there's always new people watching, and they're scared to kind of dig in there. And this is compacted, and I've got a good hold on the monopodial stem. But what happens is, if you're going to use moss, it has to be fluffy. Air has to be able to get in there. There is no air. Now we may find roots, but they're probably quit working because they haven't had any oxygen. So they may look like roots, and some or may not be rotten. You can see, look at this. Yeah, there's lots of, so they need air. No matter what they're in, they're going to need air. And if they're not getting it, the roots are going to die. Why do you think they're all headed for the outside of the pot? Those are your healthier roots. The inside is not looking good. So, yeah. While I do this, I have to tell you. Well, as you know, I'm doing a cement statue. She is full size. She is a big lady. Anyway, she's outside. I've never done one before. The first thing we did was the big cement rocks we did in our front yard. Why I decided to do this, I don't know. But it is a job. The hard, I'm going to have to show you soon. But anyway, the hardest part is she's sitting in lotus position on a very small stool. She almost looks like she is levitating in the air. And I have to get cement on the bottom side of her legs, etc. So that means I have to lay on the ground on a yoga mat. That's what I'm using. Anyway, and here I am trying to get cement to stick like on a ceiling. It's got to hang, and yet it's got to stick. It is not easy. You have no idea how frustrating it can be. And we do have this stuff. Now I'm using Quickcrete, so it comes and all we do is add water. And then we add, like a glue. It's a cement bonding agent that you can add to help, and it does help. And we are having quite the time. Anyway, Jack just gives me the cement, and he's gone. So I was having trouble with the end of the elbow, so he came and helped me the other day, and he did it. Now, I was trying for a long time. You know, I don't know, maybe I'm getting crazy in my old age. Maybe this is what happens. Anyway, I've always been a little different. I've never been, you know, in school, I was kind of, I hate to say insignificant, but I was never in a group. I had a few friends. My friends were, some were popular, some weren't. They were just a variety of people. And I belonged to a church group. That's probably the only thing that kept me sane. It was the United Church group, and I went to the Explorers, and then CGIT, and then High C, which was a mixed group. So that, because I'm a bit of a loner, and I think I always have been, that's probably what helped me be a little more normal. So, for those who are interested. So, yeah, so I'm a bit different, I guess. It's funny I took to this because maybe this is a good way for introverted people to actually communicate with people. You know, get it out of their system. Maybe that's why I enjoy it so much. So we actually have some not too bad roots here, and I've just about got it ready to run under the water. So our main goal for upcoming videos is I'll be doing research, I'll be trying a few different things, and I'll mark on the pot. Well, on this one, what I want is to quit getting leaves that just start to wilt a little bit, the older leaves that have been on the plant. I want to quit having that shock. So I like my bark. Now, okay, here you see there's some rotten ones. Hey, I don't know how you can do this with one hand on your phone and one hand on the plant and manage to do this, Kathleen. You're doing a miracle. Just bugging somebody. Just bugging somebody. Okay, I'm going to rinse this off. Now this plant, I'm going to show you the flower in a minute. I think once I rinse in there with some water, you don't want any moss left in there. Okay, so here we have one little flower that is in shock and it's dropping. This was like this when I got it, so it's kind of a funny color. A couple of them look a little wilty, the first flowers. So let's get it soaking. Just run some water through. Am I still visible? Oh yeah, further away. That worked. Okay, let me just rinse this off. Oh yeah, that helps. Yes, I'm running water, but our lake is full. We had actually, it was so hot yesterday. It was well over 100 in the patio, and I had to bring all my orchids in. So I had an early watering day. I watered them all and I brought them all in. It was like, because it's in glass, it was in over 100 degrees outside, but on the patio, it was like 110 degrees. It was hot and too hot for them, so I brought them in. And so they're all in the house. I had to make room for them in a hurry. And I'd been out cementing all morning on the lady. So by the time I finished moving orchids around and doing everything, boy, oh boy, I think I tried to watch a movie last night and I didn't think I caught much of it. There, we're getting there. We're getting there. You know, I could shut this down and come back and show you after, and then it wouldn't be as much fun. Okay, let's see what we're getting. Okay, we have some, you can see some of this is, now I'm just going to pull off the soggy ones. And that one, I need 2 hands for that one. Okay, there's still a little bit of moss in here. Poor things, they take a little bit of abuse before you even get them in the pot. There, I think I need to run some water again. What have we got here? I don't think we need that. Okay. Now, let's hope the seed soaking in the rooting hormone helped a little bit. But boy, this was very packed, as they always are. Most people say if they're packed in moss, it's best to repot them. And hey, even in bark, sometimes it's better to just repot them. You don't know how long they've been in there. You know what? You don't know what little bugs are residing inside the old mix, because you just better safe than sorry. I get a bit of a shower. Now, I'll just peek up here. I really don't want any soggy roots, and I think I've got that pretty well under control. I got a lot of hairy roots. I like leaving them now. They help the plant stay in the pot. So, I don't want any moss. I'm just going to put some water once more right into the crown because it's pretty tight in there. And so when you're doing this, keep keep a good eye that you are getting all the moss out of there. Then again, too, you don't know what's lurking in there. I haven't been isolating my orchids when I get them. I just bring them right in and they join the rest. And sometimes they could be bringing in. And I'm not saying don't isolate them. I'm saying, yeah, you probably should. I just don't. Okay, I think we're ready. There, that's pretty nice. Okay. Because anything that's soft or rotty will only encourage rot inside your new mix. And about, after I've repotted it, in about, a month or two, I will take it out, clean it up again. Because like I say, you will lose some roots. Clean it up, put it back. I'm hoping that this new way is going to prevent some of the shock. Having the damp bark. Because otherwise, especially the big bark, this is more medium. I used to get big and I liked it, but I can't get it anymore. This will actually hold more humidity in my pot than the big bark did. Because it's closer, there's less airspace. So as long as when you're watering, the water's running through. When you start to see dirty water coming out or the water not running through smooth, then it's probably time to repot. So we're going to keep an eye on this one. And now the leaves are, there's one backward leaf here. There's one with a cut. They're pretty firm. So what I'm watching is quite often you do get those leaves, those bottom ones that just start to go on you. And it's because you've lost roots. In that cramped condition, the roots weren't working right, and then you're changing the media. So if you can get one already in bark, we can't here, but if you can, that's a bonus. And I've been using bark quite a long time, and I'm very happy with it. So I think we're getting there. Now, I just like to shake it down in there. There was quite a few roots on this orchid. So, and it got its first soak in some rooting hormone. And if you can afford Super Thrive, it sounds like a good thing. But, you know, you have to read everything. And I think a lot of times you can find something on the internet that will agree with almost everything you say. There's people that out there, there's so many, everybody does things different. And the thing is, I do like the orchid societies because, and I especially like the St. Augustine one, and I don't know anybody there, and I live in Canada, not the States, but they have a lot of information. You don't have to be a member to get that information. There's a lot of information I often read there, and I find them very reliable. And lots of times, I try not to use too much. You see what I do with my fertilizing. Now, I'll add rooting hormone, or once in a while, if I find some seaweed I like, or something, but be careful because, you know, you start mixing a lot of things and you don't know if you're doing more harm than good. Make sure that what you're using goes together. And also, after you use something new, it may be a few months before you've noticed whether it's done your orchid good or not. So I'll just finish this up after. And I'll just walk you around and show you how the orchids are inside. What ones I'm babying? What ones? Oh dear, one ringy dingy. I'm not getting the phone. Okay, we're going to go on a little tour. And thanks for joining me. And thanks for all the thumbs up. Geez. Okay, we're going to have a little tour and see how they're doing. I rescued them from that heat. It's going to be well over 100 here today. And there's lots of new leaves coming. This is, for those that don't know, this was a lamp that we drilled holes in. It is clay. It dries a little quicker, but it's a good size. It's been in this pot for a year or two. And of course, this is the cocoa matting that I used to help make a wire basket better. Both the ones in these are really enjoying them. Way down inside, the roots are very nice. Okay, lots of new roots coming. And it would not hurt if you're having trouble with your roots. It would not hurt to, one watering, do a little soak. I'm not saying every time, but one watering, do a little soak with a little rooting hormone. Super Thrive if you can afford it. This is our sewer pipe. The roots on this, I mean, these have roots like you would not believe in there. See if I can get in there. Yeah, they're doing good. Okay. There's one I potted not too long ago. And another one, nice new leaf going straight up. This is one that did have scale, and it took a suffering, but it perked up. And it's not real flimsy leaves, but they did start to show that, you know, if you see something doesn't look right, it's either the roots or there's possibly a bug. And these are the cool misters to help with the humidity. And over here, I have the 2 slipper orchids, and I don't pull that off till it's ready. They don't get as much light here, so I put them here. And of course, this is Phalaenopsis Orchid that I trimmed off the stalks. And so she's in a little more shaded. I'm trying that with her because, and a plastic pot so that the humidity stays in longer. And that way I'm hoping the next time she flowers, they're stronger, healthier, don't drop. So we'll go in the other room. I had to move a table in that I had outside because I can't put them in the bay windows till the heat of the summer's gone, because this is a west side window and it gets a lot of heat. So I have blinds that come down, and so for now they have to be inside the house. But come fall, they can all, for the whole winter till late spring, go back into the shelves of the window. So here's another traffic cone, and this is the newest leaf. It's coming nice and large and healthy, and it seems to be doing good. And back there is my oldest orchid. It is getting a new leaf, and it is getting some roots because I need to cut that stem off. It has been suffering. This orchid is very old, like 10 years. I've lost track. I don't know. So here's the injured one back here. There's the hole. And it's still growing, and it healed over, but I think in doing so, it took a leaf to do it. Plus the roots were damaged. So yes, it's growing a new leaf, and so far the other leaves are fine, so we may be okay. and grow some new roots. Yeah. Another new leaf coming here. Lots of leaves on this one. And this one's little. It's got lots of leaves though. So we're going to be trying to encourage leafing. Okay, this is a new leaf, but it was getting hot out there, so I'm glad I brought them in. And here's the other cocoa matting in the wire basket. Very happy in there. They're all firm. No leaves ever did suffer on some of them, not so much on others. And this is one that people thought, oh, it's going to die completely. And the leaves are not looking good, but it is getting some new roots. It had something seriously wrong with it, but I still tried. I cleaned it up. I'm trying. And this is a nice new leaf here. These are all no-name orchids. The only names they have are the ones I give them. So, thank you for joining me. Hopefully it'll help and you can read that article. And Maggie's here, always. Always down there. There she is. Yeah. Okay, bye everybody.